What would happen if I told you that beneath the melting eternal ice, ancient horrors are stirring and awakening? Pathogens locked away for millennia now lie poised to spill into our modern world. Millions of years ago, ferocious viral strains once scoured life from the face of the earth. And now, as the ice fractures, they are returning, stronger, resistant to every known antibiotic, ready to spread. Think back to the devastating pandemic that recently shook the entire planet. Does that sound eerily familiar? But wait until you hear this. What if the next pandemic does not emerge from a modern accident, but rises from the deepest past, unleashed by humanity's own greed? This goes far beyond surface climate change. It becomes the activation of a far more profound spiritual law. Picture yourself standing at the edge of the Arctic, feeling the ground crack beneath your feet. What happens if your next breath accidentally carries a pathogen from the Ice Age? The prophet Edgar Cayce foresaw precisely this fracturing of the polar regions, a chain of events driven to a breaking crescendo in 2026, beneath the towering global shadow of a man with blazing golden hair. And here comes the most bone-chilling part. The evidence scientists now hold in their hands proves that zombie viruses have already been revived. What you are about to hear will forever alter the way you perceive the world today. From the most advanced laboratories, leading researchers have issued a spine-chilling warning. Permafrost does not merely entomb soil, rock, or fossil fragments. It imprisons billions of ancient pathogens, and this is what will take your breath away. Top virologists, including figures such as Jean-Michel Claverie, have actually brought these entities back to life. Organisms believed dormant for tens of thousands of years have demonstrated they still possess a terrifying capacity to infect. Does that sound eerily familiar? An invisible pathogen spreading uncontrollably, striking us down from within. But wait until you hear this. Coincidence? Perhaps. Yet the universe never operates on mere chance. These zombie viruses endured the darkest epochs of the Ice Age with astonishing resilience. Now, as the Earth heats at an accelerating pace, they rise at the precise moment when humanity stands most weakened, most lost, and most vulnerable. This transcends ordinary climate phenomena. It reveals a deeper spiritual purification. Edgar Cayce saw this exact instant with uncanny clarity. He prophesied violent polar transformations and the inevitable surfacing of the darkest secrets long buried beneath the final layers of ice. He did not call it evil. He called it necessary. Necessary to shatter outdated structures and rouse humanity from its long slumber. Right now, the clock counts down toward the fateful breaking point of 2026. The next few months carry life and death importance for every one of us. Under the powerful influence of the man with radiant golden hair, the world appears torn in two. Division reigns supreme. Yet precisely within that extreme chaos, light finds cracks through which to shine. And here comes the most terrifying revelation. You might dismiss this as distant science fiction, but imagine one of those ancient pathogens slipping into your own community, into the very city where you draw breath. Why now, when we already stagger under natural disasters and the shadow of fear? Could this be the universe's piercing wake-up call, compelling every soul to choose between ultimate terror and unifying love? But hold on. Before we descend further into this pitch-black rabbit hole of ancient threats rising from frozen depths, I need to know you stand here with me. Your soul deliberately chose this moment, this exact place. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. If you feel that fierce inner pull, that strange cosmic vibration echoing through the same mysteries that grip me, press the like button now to mark your presence. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue decoding these earth-shaking prophecies together, where cutting-edge science and supernatural forces intersect. And here comes the most unsettling challenge I want you to face. Leave a comment right below and tell me, what is your greatest fear as those polar regions truly melt and release the past? Do not keep this truth to yourself. Share it with a friend who hungers for hidden realities just as we do. They will thank you later. Does that sound eerily familiar? The way we find one another amid vast crowds in these turbulent times. This goes beyond superficial social media interaction. It forms a profound spiritual bond among bearers of light. Your mission is to awaken others before the invisible breaking point, called 2026, truly arrives. The coming months stand as a pivotal threshold for human survival. The choice rests entirely in your hands. Will you curl inward amid the division of fear, or rise to unite us in boundless compassion? Act now, because the truth I am about to reveal will make it impossible for you to remain still. Let me show you the unvarnished reality. What follows is no vague myth. These are the highest-level scientific discoveries now shaking the foundations of our world. Does that sound eerily familiar? The way the light of truth always finds a path through the darkness, no matter how fiercely we try to look away. Professor Jean-Michel Claverie, one of the foremost minds in genomics at France's Aix-Marseille University, has devoted decades to unraveling the frigid mysteries entombed beneath the icy expanse of Siberia. Together with leading collaborators from Russia and Germany, he did not seek treasure or gold. They hunted for giant viruses. His work stands validated by hundreds of peer-reviewed scientific papers and backed by the world's most prestigious national research institutions. But wait until you hear this. It was no accident that he became the first person on Earth to successfully awaken ancient pathogens long thought utterly extinct. Picture razor-sharp drills piercing through dozens of meters of permafrost, retrieving samples from shadowy subterranean lakes, from the tattered fur of prehistoric mammoths, and from the deepest beds of frozen rivers. They carried these specimens back to the most secure laboratories, cultured them, and coaxed them into infecting single-celled amoebas. And this is what will take your breath away. After tens of thousands of years locked in ice, they survived. They still lie in wait, ready to spread. This goes far beyond a mere scientific experiment. It emerges as a profound spiritual warning straight from Mother Earth herself. Edgar Cayce foresaw this very scene, the moment humanity must confront the consequences of its own actions as eras collide. He did not call it evil. He called it necessary. Necessary for us to recognize our own fragility. Amid the ferocious geopolitical upheaval ignited by a man with blazing golden hair, the ice layers fracture faster than ever before. We hurtle toward an irreversible breaking point in 2026. Right now, the next few months stand as a moment of utmost life and death urgency. I believe these chilling discoveries serve as a wake-up bell tolling for every one of us, ringing directly to you. Because your soul deliberately chose to be here to receive this message. Because we all weave together within a vast global web of energy. The choice belongs to you. Will you keep fleeing into the division of fear, or will you courageously face the truth and carry forward the light of unifying love? Many years ago, when scientists first raised the alarm about dormant pathogens trapped in permafrost, the world brushed them aside. Does that sound eerily familiar? The way humanity so often plugs its ears to the universe's whispers until disaster actually knocks. But wait until you hear this. Those warnings did not vanish into emptiness, they transformed into bloody reality. In 2016, during an unusually intense heat wave in the far north of Siberia, melting permafrost exposed the carcass of a reindeer buried for 75 years. Do you know what emerged? Anthrax spores. An ancient pathogen stirred from slumber, claiming the life of a young boy, infecting 36 others, and wiping out more than 2,600 reindeer. And this is what will steal your breath. That event marked only the beginning of an unstoppable chain reaction. In 2014, Professor Claverie's own team successfully revived a 30,000-year-old virus strain, delivering brutal proof that these zombie viruses retain the full capacity to infect after millennia of dormancy. The very next year, another giant virus from the same epoch awakened. Yet the darkness did not stop there. By 2023, 13 entirely new viral types surfaced from 7 different Siberian permafrost samples, one of them carrying an age of 48,000 years. Each revived pathogen delivers a bone-chilling scream about the fragility of our civilization. And here comes the most terrifying part. The threat extends beyond viruses alone. In 2021, more than 100 bacterial strains capable of resisting every modern antibiotic were discovered lurking beneath the frozen muck. They wait silently for the chance to evolve into unstoppable superbugs. Even remnants of the deadliest influenza pandemic in history from 1918 still lurk under Alaskan ice, while smallpox DNA clings stubbornly to 300-year-old mummies buried deep in Siberian soil. These events transcend mere biological incidents. They represent the activation of a deeper spiritual law. Edgar Cayce perceived these omens nearly a century ago. He did not call it evil. He called it necessary. The purification of Earth proves essential to clear the path for a grand ascension. Under the invisible influence and power of the man with radiant golden hair, the world fractures and polarizes more intensely than ever, accelerating the ice melt at a horrifying pace toward the historic breaking point of 2026. These tragedies stand no longer as distant theory. They exist as undeniable realities staring us in the face. The coming months carry profound life and death weight. Your soul bravely chose to incarnate here at this monumental transition. You bear a mission. If the past truly rises and knocks at the door of the modern world, what role will you play when the next wave crashes down? Will you allow yourself to drown in the division of fear, or will you rise and wield your brilliant light to forge unity and unconditional love? But hold on. These are no ordinary microbes. The ancient pathogens awakening from the ice carry a meaning far greater than anything you have ever imagined. They stand as frozen symbols of humanity's arrogance, buried deep beneath the cold from the earliest days of Mother Earth, now released by the very flames of warming we ourselves have kindled. And this is what will take your breath away. What if they prove capable of resisting every single one of the most advanced modern medicines we possess? What if they ignite pandemics so horrifying they dwarf 1,000 times over the devastation we endured in the past 3 years? Does that sound eerily familiar? The way an invisible catastrophe can sweep away the pride of modern civilization in the blink of an eye. But wait until you hear this. Permafrost now melts at a pace unprecedented in recorded history, allowing these pathogens effortless entry into the water you drink, the air you breathe, and the food chain you consume every single day. This transcends mere political maneuvering or surface-level climate concerns. It becomes a profound upheaval at the very roots of human civilization, a deep spiritual purification unfolding before our eyes. Why right now? Why do these colossal ice masses fracture and collapse so relentlessly in a world already overcrowded, interconnected, and suffocatingly linked? What if these ancient pathogens serve as the universe's reset button? Edgar Cayce glimpsed exactly this moment. He perceived the immense law of cause and effect in motion, the deliberate shifting of the poles to cleanse the planet. He did not call it evil. He called it necessary to shatter the illusions of separation. Beneath the overarching shadow of power cast by the man with radiant golden hair, the world accelerates toward an irreversible breaking point in 2026. Right now, the next few months stand as the decisive life or death threshold for our survival. Imagine this apocalyptic scenario crashing directly into your daily existence, into the lives of your family, into the heart of your community. You do not watch from the sidelines. You live and breathe inside the single, most pivotal hinge moment in the history of our planet. And here comes the most unsettling truth. Science always assures us that the current risk of widespread transmission remains low, until the moment it no longer stays low, until disaster actually knocks at your door. Your soul courageously chose to incarnate into this precise darkness where light begins to flicker. Your mission is to stand firm against every wave of fear. The choice rests entirely in your hands. Will you sink into the ultimate division of terror, or will you rise in unifying love to safeguard the future? But wait until you hear this, because the story no longer belongs to some distant tomorrow. The deadly signs already surround you in this very moment. Woven into the air, you draw into your lungs. The Arctic warms at a terrifying rate, 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. Permafrost thaws deeper each year, releasing billions of ancient microorganisms annually. Does that sound eerily familiar? The way nature screams warnings while we stubbornly close our eyes. And this is what will steal your breath. Outbreaks of anthrax and other lethal bacteria in Siberia surge dramatically, perfectly synchronized with record-breaking heat waves. This is no theoretical paper warning. It unfolds in real time, threatening to spread through vast flocks of migratory birds. Picture a single bird carrying an Ice Age pathogen soaring directly over your rooftop. The danger extends even further. The most ferocious antibiotic-resistant bacterial strains have already surfaced in the meltwater streams. They lie in wait, ready to combine and evolve into superbugs capable of collapsing entire modern healthcare systems. And here comes the most bone-chilling aspect. Cross-species transmission explodes as our living spaces increasingly overlap with the wild world. COVID represented only a brief trailer. Ancient viruses could form the main feature, lurking to enter through wildlife or directly via groundwater. As if nature alone were not terrifying enough, thawing permafrost now releases deadly nuclear waste and toxic chemicals left behind from Cold War testing sites, multiplying the peril exponentially. Why does everything converge at this exact instant? Why do these catastrophes arrive simultaneously? Because for far too long we ignored every whispered warning. These phenomena reach far beyond ordinary climate events. They activate a deeper spiritual law. Edgar Cayce foresaw the crumbling of these ancient remnants to clear space for an entirely new era. He did not call it evil, he called it necessary. Necessary to awaken humanity from its long arrogance. Under the shadowy influence of the man with blazing golden hair, the world hurtles toward the historic breaking point of 2026. Right now, the next few months carry existential weight for every one of us. You, as an inseparable thread in the fabric of humankind, surely feel the crushing tension closing in. Your soul chose to witness this earth-shaking truth. Your mission is to carry the light forward. Will you allow yourself to drown in the division of fear, or will you stand tall in the power of unifying love? But wait until you hear this, because this is where everything begins to shift. Amid the chaos of darkness, a future vision awaits us, and it does not drown entirely in despair. Imagine the worst-case scenario: ancient pathogens rise, unleashing absolute panic, toppling outdated power structures, devastating the global economy, and igniting the fiercest geopolitical tensions imaginable. Does that sound eerily familiar? The way humanity so often must pass through ashes to rediscover light. And this is what will take your breath away. Precisely from that horrifying collapse, an entirely new era will emerge. Humanity will not face extinction. We will adapt. We will develop revolutionary vaccines drawn directly from the very ancient DNA that once threatened us. This goes far beyond a surface-level scientific scenario. It unfolds as a profound spiritual transformation. From the paralyzing fear of the unknown, we step forward into awakening awareness of our own impact upon the earth. From that awakening, hope takes root through innovation, and raw power erupts through decisive action. Edgar Cayce beheld this grand cycle from destruction to rebirth. He did not call it evil. He called it necessary. Necessary to completely shed the veil of division. Under the extreme polarization driven to its peak by the man with radiant golden hair, the world races toward an unavoidable breaking point in 2026. Right now, the next few months stand as a moment of utmost life and death urgency. And here comes the most important part, directed straight at you. In this precise instant, your mission begins with small yet powerful actions. First, stay relentlessly awake. Follow closely every shift in climate patterns and scientific discoveries. Knowledge forms your strongest shield. Second, sharpen your critical thinking to a razor edge. Ask yourself how your daily choices contribute to global warming. Shrink your carbon footprint with deliberate intention. Third, build genuine resilience. Strengthen your physical health, assemble emergency survival kits, and extend open arms to support the community around you. Fourth, remain deeply connected. Join movements that take real action on climate. You stand far from alone in this monumental transformation. And finally, speak up in defense of science. Advocate for funding to monitor permafrost zones. You hold the power to become exactly the change this world hungers for. Your soul deliberately chose to stand here, carrying light to guide the way through the darkest hour. The choice rests in your hands. Will you sink beneath the weight of ultimate fear, or will you unite the strength of love to secure the future? This terrifying yet magnificent historical moment arrives no accident. You find yourself here, right now, absorbing every word I speak because you were born to witness it. And perhaps even greater, you were born to act upon it. Does that sound eerily familiar? That tightening sensation in your chest when you begin to dimly realize you carry a purpose far larger than anything you once imagined. But wait until you hear this. I believe with fierce conviction that those ancient threats buried beneath the ice do not rise to destroy us. They serve as an urgent trumpet blast, vibrating to awaken the colossal inner power that has long slumbered within you. And here comes the most unsettling truth. You are not merely an invisible spectator scrolling past this screen. You stand as the central figure in Earth's high-stakes game of survival. This transcends ordinary historical events. It becomes a profound cosmic test of the spirit for the entire universe. Edgar Cayce foresaw souls exactly like yours. He saw light-bearers compelled to gather when the world trembles beneath fracturing shadows, under the intense sway of the man with blazing golden hair. He did not call it evil. He called it necessary. Necessary to tear open the curtain of ignorance and force our evolution forward. Everything accelerates now. Time runs thin. The coming months carry decisive, irreversible weight, shaping forever the path humanity will follow when it collides with the invisible, breaking point known as 2026. Your soul courageously chose incarnation at this brutal yet transformative juncture. Your mission shines crystal clear. You serve as a guardian of the future, standing tall at the crossroads between desolate collapse and radiant rebirth. Close your eyes for just a second and feel the weight of that power. When the final layers of ice melt away and the past knocks at the door of the present, what role will you claim? Will you retreat inward, curling tight within the division of fear, or will you rise in brilliance, wielding your light to unite the world in unconditional love? So after all the cold truths we have uncovered together, do you believe humanity hurtles unchecked toward utter annihilation? Or are we being compelled to step into a grand transformation born precisely from those ancient threats entombed beneath the ice? Does that sound eerily familiar? The way the deepest darkness always arrives right before the first light of dawn breaks through. But wait until you hear this. That future does not rest in the hands of politicians or dry scientific reports. It takes shape within the very consciousness you carry. This is no mere video sign-off. It marks the beginning of your own deeper spiritual journey. Edgar Cayce always held unshakable faith in the boundless awakening power of humanity. Under the crushing pressure of division cast by the shadow of the man with radiant golden hair, the world faces relentless compression toward the life and death breaking point of 2026. He did not call it evil. He called it necessary. Necessary to shatter the false shell of this society. Right now, the next few months stand as an utterly decisive, irreversible threshold. And here comes the most troubling realization. Out there, millions still slumber deeply, while the ice beneath their feet cracks open. Your mission is to awaken them. If this video has shaken your core the same way it struck me when I first delved into these secrets, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a single deep dive into the earth-shaking mysteries where proven science, profound mysticism, and our shared future destiny intertwine. Share this video right now with someone who truly needs a ringing wake-up call. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. What fills you with fear? What kind of hope burns inside you? Speak it out loud. We will explore and dissect the truth together. And if your soul hungers to dive even deeper, join the channel membership today. Unlock exclusive analyses never released to the public. Connect more closely within our hidden community where seekers gather in quiet strength. Your soul courageously chose to stand here in this exact moment. Will you surrender to the vicious division born of fear, or will you embrace the unbreakable unifying power of love? The choice rests entirely in your hands. Until we meet again on the other side of awakening.